Hello there, welcome to World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're here on Murovanka, and I'm in the Tier 8 British medium tank, the FV4202P. It's a Tier 9 game. The enemy only got 2 Tier 9s, we have 3, but they have a lot more Tier 8s. Now, a good few of them are actually artillery, the extra Tier 8s. There's 4 artillery on each side, so it's a pretty artillery heavy match, and it's an encounter mode. Normally in encounter mode, I'm in favour of staying within a striking distance of the cap circle, because I think it's pretty embarrassing really to find yourself at the far end of the map and unable to get back to the cap in time in an encounter mode, because largely you're just either not doing anything useful or just being greedy, picking up kills because you know the enemy will go onto that side of the map. Quite often people play maps, encounter maps or assault maps, exactly like they'll play the standard battles. Don't know why they do it, I suppose it's just the way they're used to the map. So, however, the FV4202P is not a terribly well armoured tank, and I've decided that I'm not going to head towards the cap circle, at least at the early stage of the game in this particular tank, because that's generally where you find the big heavy tanks and a lot of the tank destroyers, and I don't think I'd survive very long. However, we've pretty much cleared the forest without making contact with the enemy, which is rather unusual. Usually somebody gets into the forest. It's quite near the enemy spawn area, and our first contact with the enemy just happens now, where a Carnarvon has just appeared. In a moment I'm going to zoom into the minimap to review the tactical situation more closely. But the Carnarvon is the only tank spotted at the moment, and we managed to get effective fire into it, and so do all our teammates. So all the enemy tanks are somewhere to the west of us. This Carnarvon is actually the easterliest most tank, so which means all the enemy tanks are in that area that I'm just blocking off right now. Which means we're basically facing an enemy lemming train, and they really should push down the arrow that I'm drawing past the cap circle so that they can use their local numerical advantage over our tanks in the cap circle area. Frequently what you find in lemming train situations is they don't actually push. As soon as they make contact with the enemy, everybody goes to cover. And the sheer number of tanks at the choke point is generally blocks their advance. They're actually coming in each other's way. So the enemy's problems now is that the mediums along the A line are going to advance west along the A line, roll up any artillery and tank destroyers they meet along the route, and they've got quite a good cover, so they're actually going to make progress before being detected. I'm probably going to head west along this route, and that heavy is probably going to head for the corner. The bulk of the enemy force is probably actually in the valley around here, queuing up basically to get shots across the base area to our tanks to the south. The Carnarvon is doomed. The first of the artillery units has just been spotted, and it's not going to last very long with 2 medium tank units bearing down on it. I'm pushing west along the southern edge of the spawn area here. Probably trying to stick close to the houses to minimise my exposure to any tank destroyers that might be along the A line to the west of me, to the north west of me. There's another medium tank, a T-20 has just been spotted west of the or east of the hills, and I've blasted barely long enough for me to get a single shot in on it. Rheinmetall Borsig has just popped up, and again I think I only get about 1 shot into it. Do I get a second one? Yeah, I do, but he's no longer spotted, but he's dead already. So the enemy position is actually collapsing quite rapidly. They've already lost about 5 tanks. We're only down 2, and they're getting squeezed into a tighter and tighter region of the map, and which gives them less and less options in terms of trying to rectify the situation.
Unlocking target.
The game's pretty much in the bag at this point. It's just a question of how well we do as individual players. Now, I managed to get a shot off here at the Waffenträger off Panzer IV, but I hang around in the one spot a little too long, which allows artillery to actually get a beat on my location. That's the first strike coming in, takes away half my hit points. That's the second one, takes away almost all the hit points before I manage to repair my tracks. I have done reasonably well for myself, and I suppose I could have done better, but I do get a little bit careless in a moment. However, the enemy team's situation is pretty much hopeless. Some tanks have responded, or are responding at this point, to come back up north to try and rectify the situation, but it's far too late. We outnumber them significantly at this point, and they're in a fairly disadvantageous position. So I get a shot into this VK45 Alpha, but I sit still waiting for my reload, thinking I can beat his reload and pay the ultimate price for it. So yeah, I could have done better. I did reasonably okay. The enemy, however, didn't do that well at all, really. They big mistake was that when they were all in the one corner of the map, they didn't use their numerical advantage against the tanks in front of them and just try and overwhelm them by sheer weight and numbers by just coming through the choke point, drive past the cap circle and try and wipe them out. Alternatively, I suppose if a medium tank, a fast tank, had gone east and spotted us in the forest but didn't actually hang around to try and stop us or anything like that, it might have allowed them to reorientate their position, but it's game over and we've won quite comfortably.
Chalk up another win.
So I hope you enjoyed the video, and please consider giving it a like if you enjoyed the video, and please make a comment, or feel free to make a comment about whether you'd like to see more games of this type and more analysis of this type. So thank you for watching, and I hope to see you again soon.